Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin, and this is a custom video for Harshad. He's got a couple of custom videos coming. This is the first, and he's thinking about buying a JLC. Now, why he's asking me about a JLC is kind of beyond me. He knows I'm a Rolex guy, but he wanted my input, and so that's what he's gonna get. Now, this kind of took me back to 2013 when I knew I wanted to get a Rolex watch. I wanted to get a 14060, no date sub, but I didn't know much about them. And I was trying to buy one from the internet. And so how do you go about doing that? Well, what I did was I compared what I was looking at with pictures. Every aspect, every curve, every angle of the watch, I would compare and just see if things checked out. And that's really the approach I took with this JLC, because as you know, I don't know much about Reversos, but I know that this didn't really impress me much, all right? And keep in mind, this is a 2017 Reverso, so it should be reasonably nice, and the QC should be pretty high on it, all right? So again, this is a 2017 piece, and I think we should expect a lot in terms of QC, but it seems to be lacking. And the first thing that jumped out is the dial. The numerals on the dial, the printing and the numerals don't seem to be sharp, and there seems to be fading around the edges. And just not something you would expect from JLC. Those are supposed to be really nice, high quality watches, and yet you get a dial like this. So either it was a really bad day at the factory, or perhaps the watch isn't real, or maybe the dial has been changed out, maybe parts have been changed out. That would be a big red flag, that dial. All right, also, there seems to be a tightness with the parts on a JLC, and when you look at the back of the watch and the way the pieces come together, they're very loose. That's very strange. And look at the top to where the dial, which of course you can flip over, look at that angle at the top. It looks not flush, and there seems to be a big space. And not only that, but the space sort of is angled. So that's very strange. Is the watch damaged? Has it been dropped? Was it a bad day at the factory, or is there something up with it? Also, looking at the back, the little fish seems to be, well, different than the fish that you typically see. Is that a shark? I don't know what it is, but it doesn't seem to be the same. And that goes for pretty much all the numbers on the back. They don't seem to be engraved nicely. Not what you would expect from JLC just 10 years ago, less than that. And so why? Why is it so rough around the edges? One other thing is the fact that it comes with apparently box and papers, yet when it comes to the proof of those, i.e. a picture, this is all you get. And that's strange. It's like, you know, that's always a red flag when sellers, they don't represent their pieces well. They take pictures that are blurry or far away, or they say it's got something, but then they give you a picture like this. It makes me want to say to the seller, help me help you to help me feel good about buying this watch by accurately representing it in the pictures. And I don't feel like that's going on with this picture of the papers, I guess that is. So, you know, they should have a picture of the box, they should have a picture of the papers, and they can cover up, you know, serial numbers like that they did on the back of the watch. So why is that? Do they have something to hide? It makes me think they might. Or they're just lazy and they don't really know what they're doing, and I don't really want to buy a watch from a person like that anyway. Remember what they say, buy the seller before the watch. Now, when it comes to the price of the piece, it's likely very competitively priced, and that's probably what's tempting Harshad, but unscrupulous sellers purposely price their wares low to tempt you and to cloud your judgment. They want you to look at those red flags and think, well, it's probably all right, and it's such a good deal that let's take a chance. Well, that's of course how people get into trouble. And the fact that this piece is, well, such a quote good deal, I think that raises more red flags than tempts me. And you know, just overall, the piece looks rough around the edges. And so either it's a real piece and it was a really bad day at the factory, or something's up with it. Either way, it's not a piece I would want. And so, Harshad, I think you should move on. I think you should look for another JLC. But viewer, what do you think? And they're likely viewers that know a heck of a lot more about JLC than this guy. I'm a Rolex guy, you guys know that. So any other red flags you can see, let us know. Is this the deal of a century? If so, why does the piece look so rough around the edges? Is the quality of JLC that iffy as soon as 2017? Anyway, let me know. I would walk from this piece, but I'd be interested to hear what the viewer has to say. Thanks, Harshad, for this, and another one's on the way. Take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.